Hi Taurus, I hope you're well. Taurus, I look crazy today because I've spent the entire day walking the coastline. So it's been windy, it's been cold. I'm very tired. It's past midnight now, but I really want to sit down and do this reading for you. So it's probably going to be quite chilled and laid back today. But thank you for joining me anyway, Taurus. So we are going to start your reading with my beloved deck that I use all the time, the Deviant Moon Tarot. So for my lovely Taurus, oh, that's interesting. Okay, hold on, let me just sort the deck out because they're strangely all facing different directions, and some are upside down and some are straight up. So that's interesting. Usually I keep all of my cards without any reversals, so that when I shuffle them and if any of them do jump out and they're reversed, then I know to take the reversal meaning, definitely. But some of them were like this, some of them were like that, so that's a bit interesting. A little bit chaotic, Taurus. So perhaps you've been feeling chaos lately. So the first card out is the Six of Pentacles. Oh, this deck is so beautiful. So I feel like the first impression that I'm getting from this is being gifted something but with a price to pay, because you see how if we take this as surface level, this individual is gifting this person down here something, but what she doesn't see is all these hands behind the back, right? It's almost like there's strings attached to this gift, or there is some sort of exchange that the person doesn't realize that they're actually a part of. Like they're indebted to them in some way, but this person is quite sort of very innocently just accepting it, perhaps because they're in a point of certain desperation, or feeling like they really need this gift or this help or this aid or whatever this pentacle represents for you, Taurus. But there's something that you're not seeing that's sort of a bit shadowy or a bit shady, and I'm kind of getting the impression that this figure is quite shadowy and shady. I mean, just look at him, but also I'm being really drawn to this moon here and the fact that it's a crescent moon, and a very thin crescent moon at that, which gives me the impression that you're not seeing the fullness of the situation. You're not seeing like the extent of it, and you're not seeing the complete truth of this person. They're hiding something from you because there's this large shadowy element here. So first piece of advice, Taurus, is if you're recently being gifted something and it seems too good to be true, or it seems like someone is offering something and you might not know this person very well, or perhaps you've had not very good feelings about this person in the past or something, and your gut just isn't really ringing true or ringing right, and it's just making you feel a bit like, I'm not sure about this. I would suggest that if you are in a place where you're feeling quite desperate and you feel like you need to take this, try other avenues if you can. First of all, try and find the path that is the most illuminated, right? The path that is the most lit. Don't necessarily trust this individual here first, or don't be afraid to ask questions, Taurus, right? Don't be afraid to stand your ground. Don't be afraid to call on that bull energy and stand your ground and question this figure, or just take a moment to sort of ground yourself. You know, at the start of the reading, I was saying that things might be feeling really chaotic right now, right? Because my whole deck just turned up in all shapes and sizes. Cards were flipped and some cards were facing away. So that's actually interesting because the deck sort of, when I pulled it out, it was kind of like this. So half the deck was facing away and this part of the deck was sort of upright, which is exactly what we were just saying, right? This sort of feeling that you're not quite seeing the whole truth, or you're not quite seeing the whole perspective of whatever this situation represents for you, whether it's a person, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's a gift, however it applies to your life, you'll understand. But I'm really being drawn to now, you see this sort of archway here behind, right? It almost looks like a tunnel. It's almost like look for other avenues, Taurus, because although they might not present themselves immediately to you, you might be in this state of chaos or desperation, or just sort of confusion, or you feel like you're at your wit's end and you feel like you've sort of exhausted all other avenues. Perhaps you've been turned away in other areas, or, you know, so this could be a job for you, but maybe the boss or the potential boss that's offering the job seems a bit like a shady character, or, you know, they might not be shady, but they might just seem like this type of person that's quite two-faced and someone that's just going to drain you if you be around them too much. And then, you know, that's just gonna impact other areas in your life, and so it's not worth the job, even though they're potentially, you know, offering all this money, offering all these pentacles. Is it really worth having that much more money if it means that you're gonna have to put up with an individual like this or characters like this in your storyline, right? It's about sort of coming into alignment, and I'm seeing you kind of being funneled, Taurus. You're sort of being like pushed sort of into this pressure point where like the pressure's building, it's building, you feel like it's sort of like, oh, I've got nowhere to turn, I've got nowhere to go, I have to take this opportunity, I have to take this offer, I have to work with this person, I have to take whatever loan this person's giving or whatever gift that they're giving, even if there's these strings attached. But hold off, Taurus. This is the message, to hold off, even if you're in a moment of desperation. Just give it a little bit longer, because something else will come up. All right, it's very, very important that you don't necessarily take this, whatever it is that's being offered. You will know if this is resonating for you, because it obviously sounds very specific. And, you know, if something seems like it's amazing and you're getting really good feelings about it, you're tapping into your intuition, you're grounding yourself. Taurus, your intuition is so strong because you're the bull, right? You're grounded in earth, but you have these huge horns that just scale up to the heavens, right? The bull of heaven. So your intuition is always tapped in. You just have to quiet everything else, quiet that chaos, quiet that disorder enough to tap yourself into it, and you will get the answers. So if you do feel like you're getting this negative feeling about this situation, listen to it. And even if you're feeling pressured and you feel like you're being pushed into it, or you feel like you have no other chance or no other opportunity, just hold off, Taurus, okay? Because I feel like something else is coming for you, even if it feels like you're at that point of desperation. Taurus, it's gonna be all right, Taurus. It's gonna be all right. I feel like it is. Next card out, Death. Taurus, this is an intense reading. Don't panic. Let me just look at this a minute. Okay, so my camera doesn't really focus, but you see this individual here, right? You see how this individual is sort of coming down from the heavens? He's sort of manifested out of nowhere, sort of materialized, right? And you can't quite see it on the card, but he has these big spider legs that are sort of poking out. Sorry if you can see my cut on my finger. I scraped my finger the other day, so that's what that is. It's a bit gross, sorry, I know. So you can see these sort of like spider legs sort of sticking out, and there actually is a little spider sort of next to him as well. This is what I'm saying, right? And what I'm literally seeing is there's sort of like a spider sat on a web, and there's this ding, ding, ding. It's almost like this tremor, this tremor that's kind of coming through, right, through the network towards the spider in the center. So let me just take a sip of my tea, please. Taurus, I'm so sorry. I need a little bit of caffeine, and my throat is a little bit dry. Like I said, I'm quite tired. Bear with me, Taurus. Okay, so this little tapping of the web, right? So this says to me that if we're going back to this situation here, you're getting some kind of information, or some kind of information is going to come forward, right? That is going to clarify what you're feeling about this situation. Something's going to come through the network, through the social environment, right? Because you know, we're talking about like the web, right? It's about connection and communication, right, in the wider network. Sorry, that was the cat. Whew. What did we just say about tremors, right? Something's gonna happen, right, that is gonna give you some sort of information that is gonna clarify these feelings that you're feeling, right? So if, Taurus, you feel like you're in this situation of desperation, but you feel like you cannot justify passing this offer down, right, or passing this offer up, if, Taurus, you decide to listen to your intuition, and I am not in any way judging anyone that doesn't, you know, if you really feel like you're in a situation of desperation, I can't relate to your situation, okay, right? You know the details of your situation, your life, and you can only do the best that you can do, right? So there's absolutely no judgment here, Taurus. But if you do feel like you can't even act on those feelings, even if you're feeling that discomfort and you're feeling this sort of this fear, right? Because spiders often represent shadow, they represent fear, because so many people are afraid of spiders, so often people fear them, right? So they do represent our inner fears, our inner shadows, you know, things from the abyss that we can't really look at because it makes us super uncomfortable, or it just makes our skin crawl. If you feel like you're in a position where you can't listen to that and you just have to take up this offer, something will happen that will release you from the web, right? Because I feel like there's going to be some sort of a whistleblower or someone that's going to come forward with some form of information that is going to actually catch this snake, right? Because you can see this snake that's wrapped up in this tree. So this person here is actually coming down with some sort of information. Can you see how he's wearing a helmet and like all this like light is just streaming out from the helmet, right? It's representative of this information that's coming in. Some sort of information is coming in that's going to shine a light on this snake here, right? Which is this individual. So 2 messages, Taurus. If you feel like you can't say no to it, then you do you, Taurus. You do what you have to do for yourself, for your family, for, you know, whatever it is that you need to do. But don't worry, because there is going to be something eventually that is going to almost like rescue you from the web of this, rescue you from the stickiness of this. But I will say again, and I do just want to clarify because I'm really feeling pushed to say this, if you can avoid it, Taurus, all right? Avoid it, because there is something negative, something sticky, something, you know, I'm just seeing like, sorry, Taurus, I'm just seeing like, you know, the crawling arms, you know, those long extended arms, and the fact that we're being drawn to these hands again, right? It's making me feel like, you know, misconduct in the workplace, right? It's that kind of a vibe. It's like a boss that you can't trust, a sleazy boss, someone who pushes boundaries, someone who puts their hands where their hands should absolutely not be going, right? So 2 things. If you have to take this opportunity, something will come through that will release you from it. And then the second message, Taurus, sorry if this is quite disjointed, like I said, I'm quite tired today, but I really wanted to sit down and give you a message. If you do end up acting on your intuition, Taurus, and you say no to this offer, power to you. But then, as I was saying before, some information is going to come through the wider network that is going to clarify those feelings that you had in the first place. So even if you feel like you're getting judgment from people, whether it be a partner, friends, family, or even judgment from yourself, right? Judgment from the shadow. If you feel like, oh, you know, I should have took that offer, I really, really needed this, right? Because I'm really seeing someone in a situation that's quite desperate at this point, right? Whether it's financial or whatever it is. Don't be harsh on yourself, because there is going to be some sort of a whistleblower or some sort of information that's going to come through the wider environment that is actually going to clarify all of those feelings and make you feel like you weren't crazy to begin with, okay? And then perhaps this is that message, Taurus. Perhaps this is the message that you needed to hear that's coming through the wider network, right? Or coming through the web, my gosh, coming through the web, right? You're online right now watching this. Perhaps this is the message coming through the wider network, coming through the wide web to tell you of this snake in the grass. I mean, just look even at his armor. Look at all these scales. It looks like snake scales, right? Do not trust this, Taurus. And you will know what this is if you're feeling it. Don't trust it. One more card, Taurus, I feel. And we're gonna go back to this beautiful Fantastical Creatures Tarot, which I love. Which was that? Knight of Cups. Some sort of knight coming in to rescue you. The Empress, Taurus. This is you, right? This is literally your card. This is you in your power, right? And what have we got here? We've got this crow, right? What does the crow represent? Crow represents higher wisdom that's come through the ethereal realms, right? Crow represents a guide through shadow, a guide through darkness. So if you're already entangled, I mean, you might already be entangled in this situation, Taurus. You might already be in this situation, right? So backtrack again. This might be an offer coming to you, or you might already be in this situation that was offered to you, perhaps not that long ago. Perhaps you've been in it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, I'm so tired, Taurus. But I hope I'm making sense nonetheless. Perhaps you've been in it for 7 weeks, 7 months, 6 months, 6 weeks. Sorry, Taurus. We'll get there in the end. So like I said, it could be a relatively new situation or one that you've been in for sort of around that period of time. But this is your call, right? This is your call to leave. This is the information that you've been waiting for, right? Or it's coming very shortly if it's not coming through this video, okay? Something's going to come and act as a release catch, right? It's going to literally catapult you away from this shadowy figure, away from this situation, right? This is you stepping in your complete power. Taurus, if you are in any situation where you do not feel safe, or if you're aware that there is others being put in a situation that is not safe or that is completely out of line, right? Maybe you're the whistleblower, Taurus. Maybe you're going to speak up for other people. Maybe this message is the message that you needed to hear to get you out of it, to get other people out of it, to confirm everything that you've been intuiting, but perhaps you've been too fearful to act upon it, right? Or you felt like no one would believe you, or you've just felt alone in it. But very, very shortly, Taurus, you are going to completely be free of this situation. So actually, to conclude the whole video, right, this could be, like I said, the workplace or some sort of offer that's come to you, but we could also be looking at some sort of an abusive relationship here. Do you see how this person is on a pedestal? And do you see how he holds all the coins, he or she? There's no gender discrimination here, right? This could be a female. This could be a man. It could be a man or a female, a male or female, right? If there's someone that is taking your personal power, Taurus, the Empress, this situation is about to die. It's about to be removed from you. It is about to be stripped away so that you can be free and find your freedom and your empowerment, right? So Taurus, my heart goes completely out to you. And you need to know that if you are resonating with this situation or any of the few storylines that I've sort of pulled out from this, right? Because this is a general reading, so it's lots of storylines. You're not alone, and you are completely in your power, and something is going to come very shortly, whether it's you that induces it or someone in your environment that is going to pull you out of this situation and bring you to the light and bring you to your power. Taurus, I'm so proud of you, and all my love goes out to you, and just know that there is so many lines of support and people that you can reach out to, whether it's people that you know personally or whether it's things that are online or communities that you can reach out to, social networks. But Taurus, I'm going to leave that message there. I feel like the message has come through loud and clear, and please know that I'm sending you all my love and all my light, Taurus, and I promise you that you are so close to the end of this situation. Taurus, I love you so much. Please have a lovely day. Please stay safe. And hopefully I will see you in my next video, Taurus. So all my love and light to you, and blessed be.